Hi, I'm Darren.
And I'm Anthony.
And this is another episode of Decoded where we're going to talk about some of the big news in technology this week, and there is certainly some stuff to talk about.
All right, let's start with YouTube.
Okay, so
This is
we're actually going to be talking about two music-based
yeah.
stories today. The first one is a kind of a brawl going on between YouTube and independent labels.
Basically, we're not sure what's going to happen, right? So we know YouTube's going to launch a premium service.
Called Music Pass.
Right.
Yes.
Should be cheaper than everybody else's. But are they going to kick independent labels off the website if they don't sign up for the service?
So to provide a little bit of background, they've been working on this for about a year,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe even longer. And
Because they're working backwards.
Right.
Of.
What they're suggesting is that, or at least some rumors we're hearing from independent labels, is that their contracts have been given to the big partners like Sony and Warner.
Yeah,
and
all the big
those.
labels.
They've gotten these billion-dollar contracts, whereas these indie labels are not getting anything close. And these aren't bands that's like you've never heard of. Like this includes like Adele, Jack White, Arctic Monkeys. Like these are like big bands. It's not like not insignificant in any way. So and
it's
I think
kind of odd for them to be taking the pages off the website. I mean that's crazy. It's basically like
and they don't really know what taking them off means. Are they just not going to be included in this premium service? Are they going to be completely, off of YouTube?
Yeah,
altogether?
or are they just not going to be allowed to make any money?
Right, or are they going to be on YouTube, but they will not get
Right.
ad generated?
Yeah, and you won't be able to download their music, no ad generations. You'll just be able to play the video.
So it is like Google has they've come out and given their kind of PR-ish like we're here to dedicated to make the best music service possible. Independent labels are very upset.
Yeah.
So
we don't know their deal. We don't know what deal they're getting. They could be getting the short end of the stick. I mean, they don't make as much money as they hardly make any.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine if you're just an independent band, you don't even have a label, and you're just trying to make your own music on the website, and you finally have your little fan base on YouTube, and now all of a sudden you're told, well, unfortunately, if you don't sign up, you're not going to make any more money.
Yeah,
you're kind of.
It's. I'm not exactly really even 100% clear on how this new Music Pass is going to integrate with the current service because like everyone's like, oh, it's going to compete with Spotify and Deezer and Rdio, but those aren't video websites.
No, I think it's going to compete with Amazon more because they just launched their premium service for music. So that's what I think is going to happen.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. It's still very much in the air. We're not really sure what the fallout's going to be.
Right.
So
it's going to be in beta for a while, right? I think it's going to come up in a few days. So we'll find out in a few days.
And I think it's going to launch later in 2014. So we'll definitely keep our eye on it and see how this all shakes out.
Yeah. Let's go on.
But speaking of free music,
let's go on to T-Mobile.
T-Mobile had a big announcement on Wednesday.
Yeah, this one concerns the hell out of me. So.
And it was part of their kind of Uncarrier series of announcements. We were in Las Vegas for Uncarrier 4 when they announced that they would pay for phones if you left, other AT&T or Verizon. This event talks about a music service that it's not even so much a service, but basically what T-Mobile is saying is that they will allow certain services such as Spotify and iHeartRadio and iTunes Radio, things like that those will not count toward your data caps.
Yeah, so it's basically free music. You're not using any of your data.
And from that description...
Sounds great.
You're like, oh, well, I pay for Spotify. I would love to not have that count against me, right?
Yeah.
But there's some underlining problems with that.
Right. For instance, we were talking, I didn't see Grooveshark on there, and I use Grooveshark. So if I decide to keep using Grooveshark, my data is going to be used if I was on T-Mobile. That doesn't make any sense because then, of course, I'm going to drop Grooveshark and jump over to probably Spotify.
Right. I mean, and once you start to kind of deconstruct this argument, it starts to sound a lot like net neutrality. And net neutrality is obviously something we always seem to be talking about.
Yeah.
But the net neutrality is a little bit more muddier when it comes to wireless internet.
Yeah, and I'll give T-Mobile a nice pat on the back for at least trying to say, hey, we want to save you a little bit of money. Stay with us, and anytime. I think what they should do is any music streaming service should be free. No cap. And then you could just if I'm into music that much, I might switch carriers just for that. That's a great idea.
And it would be one thing if they were like, if there is a service that's not included, let us know, and
Yeah,
we will
we'll
work
add
to
it.
make it.
Yeah, we'll add it to the service.
To add it. Right now, it sounds like, you can vote to add new services, but that makes it sound like there's a cap or like a threshold of people that need to vote for the same service before they consider
Right,
it.
and then those services are going to start pitting against each other. And I don't want to see that kind of war, because then, the bit stream might go down, the quality might become inferior. So, if T-Mobile's listening, maybe think about it that way, like just any music service. I mean, you've already named like the 5 top, so there can't be too many others.
Right, exactly.
So.
But just if this were to ever escape music, though, I mean, if you can give preferential data cap treatment to any site, any kind of service whatsoever that you can stream into your smartphone, it's like one of those. It's like a kind of a floodgate kind of thing. Once one opens,
you can't
it
stop
becomes
it.
a flood. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out too. And
let's hope they listen to me.
Let's
just listen to me. T-Mobile's now the new music streaming area.
But on the same exact day as this announcement was another huge announcement, one that I know you and I have been anticipating for a long time.
The new Amazon phone.
The new Amazon phone finally launched, and what was interesting about this launch, I know we talked about how we were excited about that three-dimensional screen, and while that was cool, I don't think that was the coolest thing that this phone can do.
We were talking about it earlier, I actually do like the Firefly button, or basically the Amazon Buy Me Now button.
Yeah, explain exactly how that works.
It's basically you take a photo of anything that's available that you're interested in purchasing, you hit the button and little sparkles come out, and then all of a sudden magically, where do you think you're going to wind up? Amazon, to buy it. And obviously you already have Prime, so it's a no-brainer just to hit the button again and own it.
And it's not just taking pictures, it can also listen to music, open up...
So it really is the buy now button. I know everybody's been complaining about that, but I'm not. I actually want this.
I don't know if anyone's been complaining about it.
I've seen a couple. I read a couple, and I also watched a couple of YouTube videos where they're like, "Oh, this won't fly because it's just for Amazon." I'm like, "Yes, because it's an Amazon phone. It makes sense."
I mean, I think Amazon is really just building to their strengths. I mean, you have, Apple and Google and Windows and Microsoft in this highly competitive market. Why wouldn't Amazon want to build to their most strength that they have?
It completely makes sense to me. I mean, they're an online retail business, and that's what they want. They want to sell. So, sure, sell me everything you've got.
And they do have that dynamic perspective. It does look like it could be cool. We haven't seen it hands-on yet. It's got the 720p screen. It's got a Qualcomm processor.
The phone's going to be pretty speedy. It's still running Android. Even though it's skinned, it's still running Android.
14.
Yeah, it's going to be fast. It's going to be a good phone. Don't worry about the screen. 720 is fine for, especially 4.7. So it's fine. Not going to see any pixels. I think it's going to be a great phone. Unfortunately, it's only on AT&T, so I won't be able to use it yet. But we'll get one in and we'll test it out, and we'll give you the rundown of it. But I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good first phone out of the gate for Amazon. I think it's actually maybe a little bit better than I was expecting. And
$200 when it first comes out.
$200 for 32 gigs and $300 for 64. And
and they give you a free year of Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah, it's a limited time offer. Yep.
Right. So technically, right now, it would be $99 for that phone. That's a sweet deal,
right?
Especially with the 2-day shipping.
So I mean, Amazon may have just kind of brought to market another competitive operating system, another competitive handset. So we'll see what it's like when we get it in.
All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for us, right?
Yep. I'm Darren.
And I'm Anthony.
And this is Decoded.